and welcome to Total Recall. I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics.
And I'm Matt Zeoli.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Tom Scioli or on Instagram at Tom_Scioli.
Follow me on Instagram at cinema_2.
And you can follow the show at Total Recall Show on Twitter or on Instagram at Total_Recall_show. And this episode's being filmed by Brian Naja, and you can check out his website at spice.net. And today, when we're filming this, not when you're watching this, but when we're filming this, is the 35th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, the game being released in Japan.
Wow, like, unbelievable. What an impact on, like, our lives, like, the NES. Unbelievable.
Yeah, just the whole thing. And like, I remember the first time I saw that game, the first time I played that game, and it was like I showed up at my friend's house, and he had it, and, like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was like an arcade quality game. Like, we were just coming out of the Atari era, and it was like this, like, huge jump. And speaking of huge jumps, I was blown away by the fact that you would press the jump button, and if you tapped it, he would go like this, and if you held it down a long time, he'd go up, and if you held it like kind of like an in-between length, it would go in between. That blew my mind, because it was, prior to that, you know, just coming from home, I had probably just played like Donkey Kong on the Atari, and like you press it, and there's just one jump when you press the button.
The first time I ever saw the Nintendo, it was at my Uncle Joe's house, and my cousin Kevin and Mark and Greg, they had a Nintendo, and everyone was, I mean, there was like neighbors from the street had came over to like look at the Nintendo and gather around and play it. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it feels like, I feel like it's our generation's version of, like, when people from the 50s talk about when the guy in the neighborhood who got the first TV, and the whole neighborhood comes there and watches. Like, it really, like, I feel very fortunate to have lived through this, like, this golden era, like, of this new thing, and to remember a time before it and after it, and it, like, and yeah, we had Atari was cool, but like Nintendo was just something else altogether, and like Super Mario in particular.
Yeah, like the like everyone was gathered around. People that I have never seen them pick up a controller before or since were checking it out. And then I don't know, after the party, or I don't know if it must have been a party or what was going on, like my Uncle Bill, I just remember just like seeing him like by himself, like shooting the zapper.
The zapper,
yeah.
Zapper. Yeah, I feel like those were kind of like separate things. Like discovering Super Mario and then just kind of like checking out the rest of Nintendo were like almost like two separate things. Because like Super Mario did stand apart.
It did. And like the, just like the look, like every aspect of it has become iconic, like the Goombas to like the sewer pipes.
Yeah, and again, it was a sequel to a sequel to a sequel. It was like there was Donkey Kong, and then and a bunch of Donkey Kong sequels, and then Mario gets his own spin off.
He was
the Mario Brothers. It was just Mario Brothers, and again, it was kind of like a standard setup, just like one screen, him and Luigi, and then it's like movies going from black and white to color, or like a stationary camera to a moving camera. Like all of a sudden you have this like scrolling, this smooth scrolling, endless world. And just like the first level of Super Mario Brothers had like more content than like an entire, game, prior to that,
The, and it's so satisfying to hit those blocks.
Yeah, the sounds like I recently got the Super Mario Lego. And it's like,
that looks great.
I realized like all those sound effects, it like they hit on something really early of like that kind of slot machine kind of thing, where there's like certain sounds that are just really satisfying, and that like when you boom, of the coins is like it's like a reward. It's like your Pavlov's dog.
I was literally saying that, like, I think I've heard people have that as their, like, text notification, and I'll be just, like, standing around and hear it, and then, like, it triggers some, like,
there's
satisfying
little musical cues, and, like, when you raise the flag at the end of the level,
it's a big deal hearing that.
Yeah, it is, like, it's like, like, we're being programmed, we're being manipulated, and we love it. Like,
yeah.
It's come a long way since then. Like, the way they've like built on it, and yeah, Super Mario 3 is like one of the great all-time games. Like
I don't know what it was, but like somehow it must have been like a news. I was still like young at the time when that came out, but like somehow I feel like adults knew about the warp, like that
the warp whistle. Yeah,
like where did they hear about
on
that?
Like 2020
or something.
Yeah.
It's like my
Hugh Downs is like, here's how you get the warp whistle.
Yeah, somehow my dad like
the warp whistle. Here's how you get the warp whistle. Like when Hugh Downs like talks about crap music. This new sensation of crap music.
I think Hugh Downs, he was telling America how to get the warp whistle on one of his like specials,
or like a John Stossel expose. Like I went undercover and found the warp whistle.
Yeah, and like everyone's blowing on the games because my dad, like there was a problem with it. I remember him calling like the number on the back of like the game or the Nintendo, and he said the guy on the other line told him to blow in the cartridge.
Yeah.
So that was a directive coming from Nintendo.
And like I do that to this day. Like I hook up my NES every now and then, and yeah, you gotta like blow in those cartridges.
From Nintendo to blow in the cartridge.
Like press it up and down a bunch of times. Like it's this like kid magic that I like learned back then, and like I still practice. And it's like a lot of superstition, and it's like okay, don't look at it.
Yeah. Or you finally get it to work, and the front door is up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to put that door down. It could,
right. That a little bit could
affect it.
Yeah, and like the nervousness of like getting like really far and feeling like at any moment.
Yeah, I've had that where you're putting a lot of work in, getting the game just right. You're pressing down on it while it's in there, and then from the trip to the controller, it reverts.
Yeah, it's like it really. You have to take a moment to stop back and think about, because like Super Mario 3, like Batman, the Tim Burton Batman that we're always talking about, huge hit. Super Mario 3 made more money than that did. Same year, and so it's like we kind of forget like what massive like properties these games are. But it's like Mario. Like I've probably spent more time with this like Mario character in games, like living his life and walking in his shoes, than I have of like any other like fictional character.
Yeah. I remember watching the movie The Wizard.
Oh yeah.
And I think like that had to have been the debut of like Mario 3. They're like, you're gonna play a new game.
Yeah, and like yeah, kids famously went to the movie specifically to see the product placement.
Yeah, I mean,
the first time ever,
And then it's been a minute since I've seen The Wizard, but I remember him playing like a game of Double Dragon, like in a table, or like looking. I don't know. And I was like, where are they at when they're playing this? Like,
and I think like shortly after that, Nintendo started like the Nintendo World Championship, which was like modeled after like the kind of like showdown.
Oh yeah.
And I went to that as a kid.
That's amazing. Where was that at?
It was in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. So like I lived in Philadelphia, but went to Valley Forge, and like yeah, you'd play. It was like three games in one, and it would be like up on like a big screen, and it was like you'd play like a little bit of Super Mario, and then you'd play Rad Racer. And then you play Tetris, and then you're like combined
this is
score.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was fun. It was another thing that I feel like so grateful that I got to like experience, live through and experience.
In The Wizard, that dude puts on the power. He's like the power glove.
They made the power glove look like it was going to change your life.
Unbelievable.
And I mean, yeah, all these years later, still playing Mario games again. Like I'm a full grown adult, but I like love playing with this like Lego Mario setup, and just playing like the Super Mario Galaxy just the other day, like the Super Mario Galaxy 2, like that series, this amazing series. Like it was like another like quantum leap forward, the same way like Super Mario Brothers was. It's kind of like it almost like reshapes your brain, because you're like traveling around these like you're like walking along a planet that's kind of like not that big, and so it changes like the way you think about like spatial relationships, and like you have to like chase a thing and catch it by like going on like different meridians.
Oh yeah,
like the kind of thinking that you would never like. stuff that your brain would never do in real life in like the history of mankind until the existence of this game.
You playing on that on the GameCube?
On the Wii.
The Wii. You're playing on the. Oh, combining the Legos and like it seems like it's not even fair. It's like Legos by themselves are unbelievable, and Mario Brothers by themselves, it's like combining them just seems like
these like two like very addictive things. Yeah, combining them, and it's like, again, like I'm a grown up. I like to think I'm like somewhat smart, and and that this idea of like brand loyalty and stuff is like ridiculous, and it's like, oh, these big corporations, fuck them, whatever. But like I can't help it. I have this like brand loyalty to Nintendo and to Lego. Like I can't. I'm sorry. Like I'm ashamed. I'll throw myself on the mercy of the court. But like I have those. These are two things I have brand loyalty towards.
On the Super Mario Lego, it looks like Mario's eyes and like chest light up.
Well, I actually happen to have Lego Mario
oh
here.
Oh my gosh!
Here, and he. This is.
Oh my god! That's amazing.
And he can like jump. He jumps and he makes the jump noise.
I'm being affected by the noise right now.
And like
Tom.
he goes, you put him on like yellow. We have the cover to Watchmen. You put him on yellow, and then he like thinks he's in the desert. His little desert screen lights
up.
Awesome. If you put him on red, he thinks he's in like lava, and he starts to catch fire. And
that's amazing.
but yeah, you set up all these little levels and send him through.
And this is from Lego, and it's like it's made with the same. Lego makes such quality.
Yeah, and they've been working on it for like 5 years. Like this partnership between Lego and Nintendo, and I think. Tezuka is the guy at Nintendo who was working on his, and he's like sort of like the less famous co-creator of like Super Mario Brothers. Miyamoto being like the one we all know. Sort of like Tezuka also had like his role to play, but he was working on this with Lego and.
Unbelievable.
I'm super excited, and I am looking forward to like there being like a Zelda one.
That's coming down the pipe.
Yeah, as much as I like Mario, like Zelda is like my jam.
This is great.
Yeah,
and I thought I saw Bowser hanging around too.
It was it's like the starter set comes with like baby Bowser, like one of his like but then there's also like this like boss battle set which got like the giant Bowser that you can like
that's so awesome,
take him down. Yeah, so anyway, just sort of once again like stuck in the 80s.
Hey, I'm right there with you, brother.
You've been watching Total Recall. I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics.
I'm Matt Zeoli.
And you can follow me at Tom Scioli on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram at Tom_Scioli.
Follow me on Instagram at Cinema_Tomb.
And you can follow the show on Twitter at Total Recall Show or on Instagram at Total_Recall_show. And this episode is filmed by Brian Naja, and you can check out his website at spice.net. See you later.